Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Cameron. This is Rubberneck Garage. And if you caught the last two videos, the reason why I did those was I was waiting on product and some other things to come in. I'm still waiting on those, but that's not going to stop me from actually doing some work today. So today what I'm going to do is I started cutting, and then I'm going to buff this accent out that I told you about the other day. I'm going to finish the wheels. I'm still waiting for brakes. I'm still waiting for the pump for the actual tent. And then once I get all that in, I'll take the trunk off and paint all that, and this car will be complete. But today, again, like I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut and buff that accent piece. So let's get started. So I got it cut, or I got it actually sanded to the point where I wanted it to. So I took 1500 and then I took 2000 grit, and I just took the layer of paint that I needed to in order to get the orange peel to go away. And I just did a little test hit with the cutting polish. And what I'm using is actually this Meguiar's Mirror Glaze Professional Ultra Cut Compound, and so it's got a 12 listing of cut, so it's extra heavy cut, just to break down this clear coat and get this orange peel to pretty much fade away completely. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting it, and then we'll go to a different compound, to a fine glaze, and then after that we'll polish it up. So you ready for this? I cannot make this stuff up at all. My polisher just went out. Like, completely. It was pretty dramatic. It shot a bunch of sparks and then went out completely. So what I got completed was pretty much this portion right here, and then started doing this portion, but that's when it kind of gave up the gander. But this portion turned out perfect. It's like glass. This, I probably have some more work to do, a little more wet sanding to do, because I do have some fish eyes still in it, and so I do have to break that down probably a little more here and here. I was tentative over here just because I didn't have this taped off, and so my concern was that I was actually going to take too much of the material off here, and the same thing with that. So what I'll probably do is I'll tape all this off now since it actually looks really, really good, and then I'll work at that and work at this. Super happy with the way it's turning out. It's turning out really, really nice. But that means I have to actually get a new polisher from Harbor Freight, which, you know, $20 or something, not a big deal, and start working on that. But I'm not going to do that today. I'll pick that up tomorrow. So I'm kind of at a standstill with that accent again because of that. And I'm still waiting on the one pinstripe color. I've got 3 of them in, just the actual wording on that section there too, with the accents that match the emblem. So I'm super stoked about that. It'll look really, really good, I think. And I'm gonna actually do an Alfa Romeo logo. I think it'll look good. So that being said, let's get started on some wheels. So the wheels are done, but they are going to take a while to dry just because of the fact that it's actually pretty cold in here. And it's not, I mean, normally I have the heater up, and so the actual garage gets really, really warm, but as soon as I have to ventilate or anything else, which obviously is what I have to do is until I get my paint booth in, which is there, until I get the blower in to fill that up, I'm going to have to continue to open up the garage and fume out some of the stuff. So these are going to take a while to dry. So tomorrow I'll actually do the accents on those like I did on the other wheel. The only color I'm missing is light blue, so I have to get some of that, and then I have to get some more Plastidip stuff for the other wheel, which is actually on the car over there, and it's silver in color, so I'm going to have to get enough to actually coat that completely before I put the blue out, because like I said, this is really just to keep these protected during the winter months, and someone can take it off whenever they want. So I want to make sure that I have enough on the wheel itself so that when someone wants to peel the paint off, they're not actually dealing with paint on the wheel, they're just dealing with the Plastidip. So I have to pick some of that up. So that's going to end today. It's getting late, and it's not that late. I just kind of have a curfew at this garage. Anyway, so I will catch you tomorrow morning. I'm going to go ahead and get all the products I need, all the stuff I need, all the supplies I need, and I will be back and I will see you tomorrow and we'll finish this whole thing up. Or we'll finish these wheels up. And we'll finish, I think that's it. See you tomorrow. So since I last spoke to you, a couple things have come in. Blower came in. I actually went and got the new polisher from Harbor Freight, so that's in, so I can actually finish what I was doing before. The other thing that came in was a lot of snow, like a ton of snow. And so I cannot do anything. I can't put up the tent. I can't do anything. Everything comes to a standstill as soon as the snow comes in because the base of the actual tent is not waterproof, and it tells you pretty much in huge lettering that if your weather's not perfect, don't put this tent up. But what's really cool is because I have downtime, I created a logo, or I should say I had a person create a logo, and that person is actually my niece's boyfriend, and he's a pretty big deal on Instagram, pretty big deal in the art community, and his name is Denton Watts, DentonWatts. Has a huge following on Instagram, but I always wanted a really cool logo of, and I had it in my head, but I'm going to show it to you, and you guys can be the judge of it. So here they are, guys. So you might recognize this wolf or a similar wolf from the Tex Avery cartoons back in the, I think, 1940s, 50s, 60s. I can't remember the actual time frame. Some people call him the Big Bad Wolf. Some people think he's derived from like the Jubileo wolf, which was in some of the older Tex Avery cartoons and stuff. But I really loved the idea with the rubber neck, you know, the fact that it turns heads, tongue sticking out, and you know that's the whole point. Was every time he saw something that he liked, his tongue would come out, his neck would stretch long. So thought it was really, really cool. And then Denton, I told him what I wanted, and he ran with it. So he gave me the one logo pretty much for most everything that I do social media wise, and then he gave me a second one for, you know, if I want to do logos on shirts or hats or things like that. But I think they turned out awesome, and you can actually see this work on you can see it on Instagram. He posted the other day the final renderings. So what he does, he does these renderings first, and he does them on the computer. I think he draws them first, then he does them on the computer, and then what he eventually does is he actually does a layout on wood, and then carves the wood out, and then does a print from the wood, and it's really cool. Not a lot of people do it, or not that I know of do it. So if you actually go on his Instagram, you can see exactly what he does. And then he's done big names like Shiner Bach and I mean a bunch of other stuff. So he's pretty in demand. So I was pretty excited to have him do it for me. You know, like he's technically a family member pretty much at this point. So super excited to have a person that good at what they do doing my logo for me. So thanks to Denton, I appreciate it. It was awesome, and it's freaking amazing. It's perfect, exactly what I wanted. That's gonna end this video. Next video we're actually gonna do my son's car, because I bought him a Christmas present, so I need to finish that for him. So again, turn heads every single day, no matter what you're doing, and have a great one, and have a great holiday.